Hi everybody, welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
And I'm Mike.
And I'm going to start off with kind of an amusing story, or it was amusing to me at least anyway at the time.
Okay.
So when my wife was pregnant with our first kid, she was getting frequent ultrasound scans.
Oh, okay, that's normal.
After the first few months, she'd be off in the hospital. They squeeze out the jelly onto her tummy and they, look through to hear the heartbeat and see some shapes and stuff like that. And she was getting them pretty frequently. It was like one every month, and I'd go when I could. And then during this whole process, I had a regular checkup for a thyroid problem that I've had since my 20s.
Oh, okay.
And they decided they want to do an ultrasound on me.
Oh, you're going to buy one, get one free.
Yeah, like right in the middle of all these pregnancy checks, suddenly it's my turn to get this very cold jelly smeared on my neck, and they put the thing up to it. And all I can think about is telling the doctor that, no, I'm not the pregnant one. But yeah, it's just such a random coincidence that while my wife was getting scanned every other week, then suddenly I'm in there too.
So the doctors doing the ultrasound, they're obviously experts in looking at the child, the baby, and seeing it's healthy and the mom's health. If they look at your neck, do they know what they're looking at?
Yeah, sure. These experts at looking at images, and
I guess that's true. They would look at every part of your body.
Yeah.
So did they find anything?
No, they were just checking to see if there were any odd growths on the place where my thyroid is supposed to be. And but yeah, it was just an odd experience that I was there getting this scan. Okay. But what's that got?
And you also found out you're not pregnant.
Yeah, which was a bonus.
Your neck is not pregnant.
Yeah, we weren't going to have two at the same time. Could have got twin beds, but
Fun.
So that always, whenever I think of ultrasounds and scans, I tend to think of that experience. And we're looking today at a new possible technology that could help us out with these kinds of scans and maybe mean we don't need to go for these kind of ultrasounds anymore.
Very, very cool. All sorts of wonderful ways that science gives us to look inside the body and find out what illness, sickness, disease, or problem might be affecting people. This is great.
Reading.
MIT engineers develop stickers that can see inside the body. Engineers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, have developed new stickers that show what is happening inside the body. Traditionally, this type of work is done by using ultrasound. Ultrasound lets doctors and other medical workers see a patient's internal organs, such as the heart and lungs. It directs sound waves into the body. They then reflect back, producing detailed images. While ultrasound works very well, it requires machines that are often only available at hospitals and doctors' offices. These new stickers, however, promise to make the ultrasound technology far easier to access and use. These stickers look small. They're roughly the size of a stamp. They stick to a person's skin and provide a steady stream of internal snaps for 48 hours. In testing, the stickers stayed in place even during activities such as jogging or cycling. Currently, the stickers must be connected to instruments to actually see the images. But in the future, they could be made to work wirelessly with a smartphone. This would be a major step forward in the world of medical technology.
So the article begins by saying engineers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, have developed new stickers that show what is happening inside the body. So a sticker, of course, is any very thin piece of paper or plastic or a kind of mixture of both that's attached to a surface because one side is sticky and the other side is not. Kids collect stickers and use them on their art and stuff like that. You could get stickers to show, oh, this bag is mine, this stuff is mine. You would put it on stuff you own. It's kind of similar to the Post-it note. That's in its way kind of a sticker that you could put on something. So you see stickers in all kind of walks of life, but this one is going to be a medical one.
Very, very interesting. And not only a medical sticker, it can show what's inside the body or what's happening inside the body. Now, as Pat explained earlier, traditionally, this type of work is done by using ultrasound. Okay, ultrasound is one of the ways, of course, that doctors can look inside our bodies. They also have X-rays. That's the older form. If you break your arm, X-rays are great because they can see solid things like bones. Ultrasounds are useful for seeing the organs of the body, not hard things like bones, but your lungs or your heart, things that might not show up very well on an X-ray. So ultrasound, it says here, it's a scanning technique in which sound waves are used to create an image on the inside of your body. This is sort of like how bats and dolphins and whales might identify things, right? They send out a sound wave, it bounces back, and they can kind of create an image in their mind or on a computer screen when we're talking about radar and sonar and things that we use to, find things far away or find things under the ocean. It's the same basic idea. We're using sound instead of light, and the sound bounces back, and it gives us an idea of the shape, size, and other stuff about what we're trying to look at, what we're trying to see.
Yeah, the whole idea of ultrasound is explained in the next few sentences. The first one is, ultrasound lets doctors and other medical workers see a patient's internal organs, such as the heart and lungs. Internal just means on the inside of something, and in this context, inside the body. Now, you might be thinking, hang on, aren't all our organs inside the body? Well, not quite. Our skin is an organ, that's on the outside. We wouldn't use an ultrasound to look at our eyes particularly, and they are organs of a sort. So now here we mean the internal organs, the liver, the kidneys, all those things that are on the inside. Here's another way we can use internal to talk about something that isn't the body. The outside of your phone looks fine, but some of the internal parts may have been damaged when you dropped it.
Like if you get in an accident, the outside of your body could look fine, but your internal organs, like in a car accident, can get bashed around and start to be injured, get cut, and even bleed on the inside. So in that kind of case, an ultrasound is very useful because back in the old days before ultrasound, they would probably just have to cut you open and see what the problem is, This way, at least, they don't have to do that. And when we're talking about really important organs in your body, like your lungs, your heart, your liver, this is very, very good. You don't want to have to cut into a person every time to check. Use the ultrasound. What are your lungs? These are these two large bags of air that are found in your upper chest. Your heart is kind of right in the middle of your chest, and your lungs are to the left and right. Go like this. Your lungs are working. Well done. You're alive. You're getting air into your lungs, oxygen into your body, oxygen into your blood, I should say. That moves around your body and keeps you alive. So yes, your lungs are the air pumps inside your body that keep you alive and keep oxygen flowing through your blood. For example, after working in a coal mine for 30 years, Alan's dad had badly damaged lungs. Yes, by breathing pollution, by smoking, by working in a mine or a factory where you're breathing, little things in the air that can get in your lungs and damage them. It can cause a lot of sickness and death.
So back to the idea of ultrasound, and how does it work? It directs sound waves into the body.
Very, very interesting. And once those sound waves are directed into the body, they then reflect back, producing detailed images. We could also say they then bounce back. If something reflects, we're usually here talking about light, but it could be another kind of energy. Light reflects when it hits something and bounces back into our eyes. If you look at a mirror, you see yourself in the mirror because the light reflects off the glass, that special glass in the mirror, and it bounces back into your eyes so you can see it. If you are out in the mountains and you yell and shout, you might hear your voice come back to you. Your voice is kind of reflecting off the mountains, and it's coming back into your ears in that case. So if something goes out as an energy source like light or sound or heat, hits something and bounces back, it is being reflected.
So that is ultrasound, and the article says, while ultrasound works very well, it requires machines that are often only available at hospitals and doctors' offices. Yeah, there's no home ultrasound kit.
No, not exactly, and you need a specialized person to use it properly. So yeah, it's not something you can do at home like a COVID test or something like that. So what about these stickers, this new technology from MIT? It says these new stickers, however, promise to make the ultrasound technology far easier to access and use. There you go. So this is something you can use at home. Just get a sticker, slap it on your body. You don't need to be a doctor, and the sticker and technology will do all the rest. So, of course, this makes it far easier or much easier, much less trouble or problem for people, in this case, sick people, to access and use ultrasound. Otherwise, you'd have to go to the hospital like Pat and his wife, make an appointment, see the right doctor, get the treatment done, maybe wait a day or two to get the full results, all that stuff. It's hard to access this kind of treatment. To access is to be able to use, get, enter, take advantage of something. Your key allows you to access your home or your room or the lock or whatever you're trying to open. If you have an ID card that allows you to go into your school or your office or something, it will give you access, allows access to the place that you're trying to go to.
So in that sentence, we had today's language in focus, which is all about how to make comparatives more descriptive and more accurate. A simple comparative sentence, it's not hard to make. A is bigger than B. A is faster than B. A is more beautiful than B. Those are fairly easy, but we can add more detail by adding adverbs of degree, such as far, a lot, a bit, a little, much, and so on. And when we add these to a comparative sentence, it can mean something different depending on the adverb we use. So a basic sentence would be Sam is taller than Dean. It just tells us which one is taller. But if we change it with these different adverbs, Sam is a little taller than Dean, we know it's only a small amount taller. There's not a big difference in height. If we say Sam is much taller than Dean, that's a large degree of difference. You can tell very clearly that Sam is the taller one. And if we say Sam is even taller than Dean, this tells us a bit more. It tells us that Dean is tall, but Sam is even taller. So those are some different ways we can modify comparative sentences to provide a bit of extra information.
Wow, Sam is huge. He should join the NBA. Back to the article. These stickers, the ones we're talking about, remember, these are like little ultrasound stickers, very high tech, very cool, and do a lot of good for sick people. But here's something kind of surprising, at least to me. These stickers look small. You might imagine it's quite big, maybe, almost the size of your hand or something like that. But no, they're small. They look small. They're roughly the size of a stamp. Yeah, that's right. A little stamp like you stick on your postcard or in the corner of an envelope when you're sending a letter through the mail. That size. So maybe, a little bit bigger than your thumb. This is roughly, it says roughly the size of a stamp. Maybe they make different types of stickers for different things. So they could be a little bigger, could be a little smaller. When we use the word roughly, it's like saying approximately around the size of a stamp. Maybe a little bit bigger, maybe smaller. Because, of course, stamps also come in different shapes and sizes too. But imagine your basic stamp. It's about that size or roughly that size. Here's an example. If you tried to walk from Kending to Danshui, it would take you roughly a week. You could walk really quickly and not stop to look at the beautiful scenery, or you could make it into a holiday, but around a week to walk from the south to the north of Taiwan.
So let's get back to these stickers. They're not very big. What we find out is they stick to a person's skin and provide a steady stream of internal snaps for 48 hours. So I guess the idea is you go to the hospital, or maybe even a doctor's office or something. They'd say, here, stick this on your skin over the bit you want to be scanned, whether it's your stomach or your lungs or your heart or whatever, and you'll keep getting pictures. These things will give you data every hour or so for 48 hours. So they stick to your skin. Stick here is the verb form that you'd use with a sticker, and it's often followed by the preposition to, and it just means that something is attached to another thing in a way that it means it will stay there. And using, again, some kind of glue rather than it being, it's not nailed, it's not screwed, it's not welded there with heat, it's stuck to it. There's some kind of glue keeping it in place.
Very cool. And of course, it will work for a long time. Once it is stuck to your skin, it says it will provide a steady stream of information or internal snaps, but a steady stream. Something steady is regular. It's very even. It goes on for a long period of time. It's almost like a beat or a rhythm. The ticking of a clock is very steady, unless your clock is broken or something like that. If you're listening to dance music, that do, 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 that's a very steady beat. Imagine trying to dance to music that went do, 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 do. That would be impossible because you need a steady beat to step left, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, that kind of thing. Also think of soldiers marching. They always march with a very steady rhythm, left, right, left, right. So something steady is regular, continuous, and it probably goes on for a fairly long period of time, hopefully. The doctor, it says, was pleased to hear old Mr. Wilson's heart beating with a steady rhythm. So he's got a good heartbeat. It's beating very normally. It's not kind of skipping or doing weird things like that. So hopefully he will be living for a good long time.
So these stickers will give a steady stream of internal snaps. So maybe this is like every hour or so there'll be a picture or snap taken of what's going on inside that organ to see, are things changing? Are things going very differently over the course of a day? What's going on when you sleep? What's going on when you're moving? That sort of stuff. And it'll provide snaps. A snap is often what people would casually call a photo, a picture. You take some snaps, some holiday snaps. Those are the ones from your vacation. I'm going to take a few snaps of this particular thing. It comes from the word snapshot, just a single moment in time of a particular thing that you quickly pull out your phone and take. When we think of somebody setting up a really good photo, we probably wouldn't call that a snap of something. It's the sort of, oh, here's a thing, I'll quickly pull out my camera, take a quick picture of it. I'm not going to spend too much time focusing or setting it up. It's going to be a quick picture that shows what's there.
Exactly. A selfie is a perfect example of a quick snap you take of yourself in an interesting location.
Yep, here's an example sentence. Leslie pulled out her phone and quickly took a few snaps of the movie star at the next table.
Oh, she was probably doing it so she wouldn't get noticed. This was not a proper photo shoot of that kind. Anyways, back to the article. In testing, so this isn't quite maybe ready for the public. Maybe don't go and ask your local doctor quite yet for one of these stickers because they're still working on it. So it says in testing, the stickers stayed in place even during activities such as jogging or cycling. Oh, that's a good point. If your skin gets sweaty, is it going to make the sticker fall off? Things like that. I bet they haven't tested them in the swimming pool quite yet. I would wonder what would happen if you, for example, took a shower or a bath with one of these things. But certainly, if you're out there in the hot sun, sweating and moving around, exercising, these stickers will stay in place. If something is in place, it is in one location, it's probably not moving. And the idea also would be it's in the right place. It's in the right location. Put it there. That's where it goes. All right, we can leave it and move on because it is in place.
We also see that currently the stickers must be connected to instruments to actually see the images. So that's a limiting factor. You've got to have the sticker and there'll be a wire stuck to it and the wire will go to a machine. So right now it's just a slightly less sort of lower tech ultrasound. You still would have to stay in the doctor's office or next to a machine at home to see what was going on. Useful for patients in hospital. You wouldn't need to take them from the bed to the ultrasound room and back again. You could just do it there next to them, but not perfect if somebody wanted to go home. So these are connected to instruments. If something is connected to a thing, we often use it in this passive form, be connected to. It is joined with that thing. It is attached to that thing. There is some kind of connection, meaning they are linked together, often with wires, but of course these days a lot of things are connected wirelessly. It's using other methods. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But if they're connected, they're joined some way.
There you go.
For example, you would ask somebody, can I use the Wi-Fi in your home to connect to the internet, to access the internet through your Wi-Fi connection?
Right. Now, that sounds pretty good, but you might kind of notice that's not the most convenient way, right? Because eventually you have to get your sticker near a computer, attach it to the computer, or even go to the doctor's office and do it there. So can we do better? Well, they're definitely working on that. It says, but in the future, they could be made to work wirelessly with a smartphone. I'm imagining using Bluetooth or something like that, because there are already medical things that people can wear on their bodies that connect with a doctor's office miles away using Bluetooth. And of course, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, things like that, that sends information wirelessly. Wirelessly means without wires. So we're not plugging wires in. It's not like your old television that has to be plugged into a wires for you to get all those channels that you get. If you're watching something on your smartphone and it's not attached to anything, you're watching things wirelessly. This is becoming more common, but I think with a situation like a sticker you wear on your body, they just need to get the machine or the information sent from a very small little device that they can attach to or even build into the sticker, and then they can send it back and forth using Bluetooth. This will all be done wirelessly. Very convenient. So in that case, you could be wearing the sticker at any time, and the doctor can always check in with you and always is getting the latest data.
And as the article says in its conclusion, this would be a major step forward in the world of medical technology. A step forward in this case means an improvement, a more advanced development, something that is better than what we had before and allowing for improvements in life in a lot of other fields like that. So yeah, hopefully these work out. Hopefully it's something we'll have someday not too far away. Keep an eye on the tech news for this kind of stuff. But right now, Mike and I are going to our For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
So our question is, do you feel that these stickers will have a big influence on people's health? Why or why not?
I will say yes, and I will say because, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's many amazing things that they'll be able to do with it, and probably more in the future than they can even imagine now. But I can't really think of what they would be able to do. But I would love to know more about what scientists hope they can do. But will it have an effect? Absolutely.
Well, I'm imagining the heart as one example.
Sure.
You've got a sticker over your heart.
Yeah.
Now, suppose you have a heart condition and you might be having problems at any time. Often, maybe by the time you realize that something's going wrong, it may already be a little late.
True.
Whereas if your heart's starting to have some problems and you're asleep or you don't notice them, but that data is going to a hospital, a doctor's office, then they can get the early warning signs and send out emergency services, an ambulance, so it's not there too late, it's there on time to make sure you're okay.
There you
So
go.
an early warning system for troubles of that sort could be useful, or it saves you, like, okay, the doctors want to monitor my heart, my lungs, but I don't want to stay in a hospital for 24 hours, 48 hours where, hospitals, there is a risk of infection from other patients. It would be much safer if I could stay home and away from the hospital. So with one of these stickers, if it's working wirelessly, you can be monitored without having to stay around the doctor. And that also means the doctor can get on with treating other things and other patients which need attention and not worrying about monitoring you, as that can be done electronically. So
Absolutely.
There's a couple.
There you go.
Okay, well, that's all the time we've got for now. Thanks for listening, everyone. For English For You, I'm Pat.
And I'm Mike.
And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Take care. Vocabulary Review.
Internal. Doctors of internal medicine study what happens inside people's bodies. Lung. David took a deep breath, filling his lungs with fresh country air. Roughly. I think roughly 20 people are coming on the class trip, but I'll check the exact number later. Steady. The river has provided a steady flow of fresh water to the people in this village for 30 years. Snap. Mick sent lots of snaps to his family during his vacation to show them where he had been. Connect. Darren couldn't get his PS4 working, but then he realized he hadn't connected the HDMI cable to the TV.
智慧小补帖
Sticker. Ultrasound. Reflect. Access.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net